Okay guys, I'm having huge technical difficulties. So I had originally filmed this and I lost the file. I don't know what happened when it was converting to whatever it's gone. And I, for some reason, couldn't just post it to YouTube, which is what I normally do. So I'm going to re-film it and fingers crossed it works this time. The good news is the other one was about 15 minutes, and so I'm hoping I can make this one a lot more concise and quick for you, okay? So when I do this on the HoverCam, okay, I need you to take these notes in your notebook. As many of the notes as you need to take, but I do want you taking notes and at least working some of the problems and writing down the vocabulary and sketching any images that I sketch. Okay, so today you're going to title your notes Conversions or Dimensional Analysis. Okay, and you need to know that dimensional analysis is simply a method or a process to easily convert between units. Okay, so some conversions that you already know and you don't even realize it is that 1 day equals 24 hours. Okay, 1 dozen equals 12. Okay, you know all of those. So with dimensional analysis, you're just taking this idea and applying it to a ton of different units, okay, in a very specific process and setup. So one thing that you need to know before we jump into problems is what a conversion factor is. Okay, conversion factor is written as a fraction. Okay, so a fraction like this with a number on top and a number on bottom. And the numerator and denominator are equal. Okay, they mean the same thing. So to put these conversions into conversion factors, you could do 1 day over 24 hours. Okay, now I will tell you in a minute how to decide which one goes on the numerator and denominator, but it's not always the same way. Okay, so you could do 1 day over 24 hours or 24 hours over 1 day. Okay, same thing with a dozen and 12. You could do 1 dozen on top and 12 eggs on the bottom or whatever, or vice versa. Okay, so I want you to try some. I'm going to write 2 examples down for you to try. I want you to put these conversions into a conversion factor. Okay, 1 minute equals 60 seconds, and 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. So you write 2 conversion factors, one for this conversion and one for this conversion. Okay, pause the video, try it, and then unpause it, and I'll show you the answer. So you could write 1 minute over 60 seconds or 60 seconds over 1 minute. You would not be wrong right now. Now when you're setting up conversions, it is very specific which one goes on top and bottom, but I'll show you in a minute. This one, you could have done 1 gram and 1,000 milligrams like that, or 1,000 milligrams on the top and 1 gram on the bottom. Notice that 1 followed the gram and 1,000 milligrams stayed with the milligrams. Okay, so the number and the unit go together always. So now we can start dimensional analysis. There's really not a whole lot of background knowledge you need to know. Okay, dimensional analysis. So dimensional analysis is just a series of conversion factors set up to cancel out units you don't want to convert into units that you do. Okay, so when I say cancel something out, think about math. Oops, sorry, you kind of can't see that. Think about math in fractions. What gets canceled, right? Like if you had 2x over x, what can you do to that x? You can cancel it out. Okay, so the whole goal is to cancel out the units that you were given and you don't want, and keep doing conversion factors until you get to the units that you do. Okay, So let's just jump into a couple of practice problems. I'm going to write it and work through one with you, and then I'm going to write you another one for you to work through, and I'll just quickly tell you the answer. Okay, so this one. How many seconds are in 3.00 hours? Okay, so we will give you most of your conversion factors. We won't give you the metric conversions, because remember the other day I told you you had to get those memorized. But anything that's not a metric system, we'll tell you. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes, and 1 minute equals 60 seconds. I know you already know that, but I just want you to get used to seeing, like, this is what they're going to look like when we're trying to tell you what their conversions are. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to highlight this so it's very obvious what we're working from. I tell my kids, always circle what you're given. Okay, so literally you find the number and that's what you're given. And circle what you want. I want to get to seconds and I'm currently in hours. Okay, so you just start with 3.0 hours. You start with your given and you set that over 1. Okay, you don't have to do that, but with for consistency purposes, so it all looks the same. And later on, when we're working with more than just hours, you know, it might be miles per hour or something, it just helps doing the same thing over and over. Okay, so here's your first conversion factor. We are in hours, and that is definitely not what I want. I want seconds. Okay, so all you do is set up another conversion factor, and I know I need to cancel out hours. I don't want hours. Okay, so where can I put the unit hours in my next fraction, my next conversion factor, to cancel it out? On the bottom. Okay, something you will hear me say so many times this year is to drop your units. Okay, the name of the game is to cancel out all of the units that you don't want and eventually arrive at the units that you do. Okay, so I'm dropping hours, and then I just go through my conversions that I'm given or that I know from metrics and fill it in. Okay, so I see here 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? So I've canceled out hours. I'm in minutes. Is this what I wanted? It is not. I want seconds, so I'm not done. Okay, no need to panic. You just set up another conversion. Okay, so you're going to drop your minutes. And I see here 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. I've canceled out minutes. I'm in seconds, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, I wanted was seconds. And then I just plug everything into my calculator. Okay, so 3.00. One last thing. When you're multiplying fractions, you are not cross-multiplying. That's if you have two proportions set equal to each other. Okay, multiplying fractions means you are multiplying everything on the top, and then you are dividing by everything on the bottom. Okay, so I do all of the top in one fell swoop. Okay, so 3 times 60 times 60. Okay, I press enter. I don't even write that number down. Okay, I just immediately go into dividing by what's on the bottom. Now, yes, I know that dividing by ones isn't going to change my answer, but I just want to show you what I do. I would divide by this denominator, divide by this denominator, and divide by this denominator. Anything on the bottom, you are dividing by. Okay, so I get 10,800. Do not leave your units off. Okay, that is crucial. Okay, I don't know why I do seconds, SEC. It's really technically supposed to be S. Okay, so 10,800 seconds is my answer, and just double check that your sig figs are proper or correct. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 sig figs and 10,800. These zeros don't count, and 1, 2, 3 zeros and 3.00. These zeros count because of the decimal. Okay, so that is pretty basic dimensional analysis. We did do a 3-stepper, so I would say that if you feel good about that, then you're awesome. Okay, if you don't feel good about that, then try this next problem, and I'll give you the answer. So the next one I want you to do, I want to know how many inches are in 2.5 miles. Okay, I will tell you that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, and 1 foot equals 12 inches. Okay, so you try that. Remember what we did. We circled what we wanted, and we circled what we were given. We took what we were given and put it over 1. And then we worked our way through canceling out our units by dropping them to the denominator until we got to what we wanted. Okay, drop your units. So if you want to pause this for a second and give that one a shot, you can. I'm going to quickly work through it and just give you the answer. So I was given 2.5 miles. I'm going to put that over 1. I want to get eventually to inches, so I'm just going to drop miles to the bottom so I can cancel it out. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Not happy yet because I'm in feet and I want inches, so I'm just going to keep going. Drop feet. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, and there we go. That is the unit that I want. And then you put everything in your calculator. You multiply the top, divide by the bottom. You could divide by ones from the bottom, but you don't have to. Equals 158,400 inches. Okay, but double check. Is this going to be a full credit answer? It is not. Okay, one thing about sig figs, guys, yes, I know that you only have one sig fig in your conversions, but you only worry about sig figs in your actual, I don't know what is going on here. It's the end of the day with my hair. The only thing you care about for sig figs is the number in your actual problem. Okay, so ignore your conversion sig figs. 2.5 has 2 sig figs, so this answer can only have 2 sig figs. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs. I need to get it to my second sig fig. Okay, the 8 tells me to round up, and then you just turn everything else into zeros because you can't say just 16 inches. It's supposed to be in the hundreds of thousands, right? Alright guys, so I'm going to stop the video here because I've already filmed the second part of this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the technology works okay. And watch the second video now. It's on.